This is your boy Underwood, and I will be teaching you how I do my frequency separation in less than 10 minutes. Don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, and then like and share and comment on my videos for me to bring out more videos on how to do the bend and dodge, how I do my skin toning, and a lot. Okay, so now let's move on to the picture. Now I have my model picture here, and before I start, I would like to tell you this. In order way to get a massive resource out of your frequency separation, you need to get a pre-production in the camera. You need to work on a picture in the camera before you put it in Photoshop and start your editing. Because if you don't get a pre-production, your end results is not you're not going to like it yourself. So pre-production in camera, like you need to learn your lightning, your shutter speed, your ISO, yeah, aperture. It really counts in picture. When if you understand this whole issue, your pre-production will be very, very great. If you don't understand this part, the shutter speed, the aperture, and the ISO, your pre-production won't be very, very good. No. So let's start, and I will put my settings I use for this picture in the description below, so you can just look at it and then I know, like, you learn. So let's start now. Other people use frequency separation, the skin tone layer, to remove their blemishes, but I use a duplicate layer out of the original layer, or let's say the background layer, to remove my blemishes. You can see here I've renamed it as blemishes, and people use let's say spot healing brush, but I use patch tool to remove my blemishes and other stuff. And yeah, I'll remove the unwanted things I don't want on her face, something like the pimples, and then oh, that's the pimples and other stuff that are not supposed to be at the place that they are right now. Yeah, very good. Nice. Okay. Okay. So that's it. Now I think it's okay for me to do my frequency separation layer. And whenever you're about to do frequency separation, don't forget to put the black and white layer there. Some people finish doing creating their folders before they add the black and white. I mean, in order way for me not to forget my black and white layer, I first do it before I start the whole process. Now I will duplicate this layer, then I will rename this as the high layer and the low layer. Okay, so sorry, I had a call. It was emergency, so I need to pick up this call. Sorry. So let's continue now. I rename this as the high layer and the low layer. Then I will disable the high layer. In the reason why I'm disable this high layer is because whatever I will do to the low layer, I don't want it to affect the high layer. That's why I disable the high layer. So now I'll go to filter. If you don't know where the filter is, you see on top of the file, like, let's see, I've forgotten this bar name. Let's say menu bar. Yeah, look on top of the menu bar, you see the filter there. Then you come to blur and then Gaussian blur. Now Gaussian blur, we are going to blur, let's say subtract the skin texture out of the image. So I don't know, some people have their radios they use in their bed. You have to, I don't know how to say it, like, push the radius to a certain point where you see the image is blurred, like clearly blurred. And I always advise my people, whenever you are doing a headshot, let's say a headshot, frequency separation, your radio should be at least 8 to 10, depending on how details you want in the image. So the radios can be at 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, but I always use 9.4 when I'm doing my headshot frequency separation layer. So you now see the image is blurred out of the texture. So I will now enable my high frequency separation layer, and then I'll move to image, then apply image. Yeah. Now right now I'm going to subtract the high layer from the low layer. I'm going to subtract the texture from the low layer, and then I will change my blending mode to subtract, and then my scale out to offset at 128. You make sure this is at 2, this is at 128. If this figures changes, you are not going to get a very good end result. And then I'll press OK, and then I will change my blending to linear light, and then I'll get my image back. So right now I've gotten all the images back, but when I disable this, you see I've disabled the texture out of the image. But when I enable it, you see I've gotten the texture out of the image. I've gotten the texture back in the image. So you group this and then rename it as FX. FX stands for frequency separation layer. Then I'll duplicate this, and then I'll clip mask to the real layer of the low layer frequency separation. The reason why I do this is I might be doing my frequency separation layer, and then I'll make a mistake in some way. Maybe I didn't do some place well, and then I have to delete the whole issue. No, that's not very good. So I duplicate this layer in other way. If I make mistake, I delete this layer only. No, I'm not going to delete the whole thing. I will delete this layer only. It's only this layer that I'm going to delete. That's why I duplicate it, and then I do now. This is the point that really is really important to me. Some people use BrainBlush, some people use the patch tool. A lot of people have their different methods to do the frequency separation, but I use the BrainBlush and then the quick selection tool. That's what I use for my frequency separation layer. And then so I'll select, then I'll move to blur and Gaussian blur, and then I'll increase my radius to the point I see the details, like the details I want in the picture. I think 38. I think 38 is good. Yeah. Now look at the difference. See, this is the difference I've gotten. So let's move on to the next place. Yep. Let's move on. Yeah, so now I will do that in the whole body part. The whole body part. Yeah. I will do so when you see, just see the before and the after, before and the after. Now you can see, say, the skin tones, some places are dark, white. It doesn't match. So I'll now move on to my mixer brush tool, and then enable my black and white in order to see the highlights, the midtones, and the shadows. Like you push your red, look back, and then let's start. Then I'll select my low frequency separation layer using my mixer brush tool, and then the width at 9%, load at 75, mix at 90%, and the flow at 100%. Start brushing through where I didn't get the frequency separation well. That's it. Start brushing through. Okay, then come here, brush through my highlights, my shadows, my midtones. So when you are using a mixer brush tool, don't brush through the shadows and the highlights. When you do that, you're going to distort the image. Let's say spoil the thing if you do not. Let me disable the black and white and show you something now. You see, now look at what I'm now mixing up the shadows with the highlights, and that's not very good idea. Look at what I'm doing now. So when you are brushing through the shadows, it's the shadows only, highlights only, midtones only. Yeah, that's all. Now I'm done. So let's see. Okay, let's look at it before. Sorry, now let's look at it before the after. Before the after. So we are done for the part of the frequency separation layer. Hope you like the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my YouTube channel for me to bring out the next video. Now hit on the notification button out. When I post a new video, you'll get a notification out of it. Thank you for watching this video.